Okay, so today is kind of a random catch-all for some apples that I have never heard of, so they might be uncommon, and a pear. So first we have a sugar bee, which
Those are normal.
I think that I've heard of that one. So that could be our first one. That could be the control versus these other ones. This is a Braeburn apple, which I haven't heard of, but doesn't strike me as something that's that uncommon. And then this is where it starts to get different, because this is a honey core snow apple.
You might as well take it out of the
this fancy
the fancy Asian pear underwear.
We've been sitting on this for a little while, so it's a bit soft on that side, but it has kind of a rough texture, and it is a bit white.
It's like a rougher color.
Yeah. And then, was this the Yali Pear?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This one might not be good anymore.
Oops.
We could eat the other half.
Okay. Just don't look at it.
Don't look at it. Stop. We're gonna eat the other half, but it does have a good fragrance to it.
Is it because it's moldy on the other side?
It's got culture. No, I'm not going to inhale the spores.
Nasty. It's so nasty.
So we've been trying to do this video for like at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, it just keeps getting put off and put off.
Yeah, so it's happening this time.
Okay, well, here's your sugar bee apple.
Okay. Ooh. Smells extremely sweet.
Would you say like sugar
And bees.
and bees?
Yeah. Very, very sweet. Trying to get diabetes. It's good.
That's good. Makes me want spicy cheese dip.
Again, this one doesn't strike me as one that's uncommon. It tastes pretty similar to other apples I've had. Not bad, not bad. Is it similar to anything? Because I think you've had more apples than I have.
It's like one of those yellow delicious apples, but it's got like the bite and crunch of a gala.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to like. It's why we haven't done any apple videos up to this point, because people know apples very well, I feel. And I know what I like in apples, which is crisp and tart.
I like Granny Smith apples.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
So-
my baseline for apples. If ever I'm going to buy an apple, it's going to be a Granny Smith. If I have to eat another apple, I'll do it.
Well, there's people out there that do not like Granny Smith at all.
Which is funny because that's like the one apple that you use for pies. And they're like, oh my god, I love apple pie. It's just you're eating Granny Smiths. Anyway.
But yeah, other apples, they're good, they're just not my favorite.
I would eat this with cheese and salami.
So what's our next one? It's the Braeburn. And funny story I can tell about apples.
You're Do share.
You already know the story.
And?
Apples often can keep while refrigerated for extended periods of time.
I now know the story you're going to share. My God.
I moved from my apartment with a bag of Granny Smith apples. Then forgot about it in the fridge for like 3 months. And then pulled them out. And they were fine. So, I think the environment in the crisper drawer,
It keeps your goods crispy.
yeah,
It's the reason why it's got the name.
sure does. It might depend on the variety of apple, though.
Yeah. Like, didn't you get the bag of apples, like, months before you even moved?
Oh yeah, I think I had it for a month before I moved. So maybe I had, all told, I had that bag of Granny Smith for like 3.5, 4 months maybe. I just kept it in semi-prime condition in the crisper drawer.
That's when you realized that you had it, but you didn't even eat it all, like, immediately. You still took, like, a couple of weeks to eat them.
I mean, that's how, I assume that's how, like, the produce industry extends a season for produce, is they just keep it refrigerated. Because Granny Smith has a season. All apples have a season, but they get a little bit elongated because of being able to keep them refrigerated.
Thanks, technology.
And like a lot of it is harvested early, so it's not as soft, so it survives better in that environment.
Oh, this is gonna be a big apple. Do you want to share a half?
Sure.
Let me just.
So this one does not smell as sweet.
Oh, nice. A little bruised.
Oh, this one's more like a pear in terms of texture. Wow.
Oh, that makes me uncomfortable.
So it's got that crisp apple skin, but it's a much softer inside.
It's so uncomfortable.
So this is actually an apple that doesn't appeal to me much. It's not bad, but it wouldn't be my first choice.
It's really grainy.
Yeah, a bit.
I think I need an adult.
I think you could easily make applesauce out of this. It's like halfway there. It's so soft.
Just a halfway sauce.
Yeah. I'm surprised that, well, it makes sense it had the bruise, but I'm surprised that it didn't have more because of how soft it is.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's alright.
Again, I have
Preferences.
predetermined apple preferences. It just doesn't fall inside that Venn diagram.
Like, I don't want to finish it, but, like, I've already started eating it.
Yeah, I guess I get what you mean. I feel like I would want to add something to this to kind of spruce it up. Or like this wouldn't be the whole thing. I would put it in something.
It would make good applesauce, though. Not gonna lie.
Right? Yeah.
Ooh, maybe one of those baked apples where you, like,
Oh.
take off the skin and then you roll it in cinnamon sugar and then you wrap that in puff pastry and throw it in your oven. Those are delicious.
It's very grainy.
Yeah. It's off-putting.
It's like on a different, very different part of the spectrum versus that first apple. They're very, very different. So we'll see what the snow apple is like.
Please be crispy.
I mean, it feels like it, but
So did the other one.
I don't know what to expect.
Share a half again, or?
This one's a little bit smaller. You want to just eat halves? Okay, I'm picking up some sweetness from this one.
No, get you later.
Oh. Also very different. Excuse me. All three of these are very different from each other.
Yeah.
This one's not gravelly, but it's also not crisp. It's soft, but not super sweet.
It's like the perfect middle apple. Because you have like the heckin' crispy and tart Granny Smith, and then you have like some other sweet animal on the other side.
Yeah.
And this one's like a good middle ground. Where it's not as sweet, but she's still crispy.
This is like the neutral apple.
Yeah. A true neutral
The
apple.
true neutral apple.
Does that make Granny Smith chaotic evil?
Maybe.
Or it could be chaotic neutral. We need to make an alignment chart for all the apples. Have it framed.
Oh boy.
Not gonna lie, I want to do that.
You have to go and try a bunch of apples. And then make an alignment chart for.
Congratulations, Casey, you now have something to look forward to.
An alignment chart of apples.
Yeah.
So what do we think about this one versus other ones we've had at the store, like Fuji? I guess we're kind of already implied because it's very neutral. Not too sweet.
I feel like if I had the money to burn, I would buy it. But for the money that I spent on this, I would not buy it again.
How much was this apple?
I don't know, like $3 or some shit for an apple.
It also had like
I saw a
it
pretty.
was all wrapped up.
I saw pretty packaging, so I said yes. They got me on that. It is good. I just wouldn't.
It was good.
I just wouldn't pay $3 for it.
Yeah.
Even though I did.
Like it's almost as though the thing that makes it special is that it's not extreme in any direction. It's not super crisp. It's not
Overly sweet.
not overly sweet.
It's not tart.
No,
It's
not
just-
not gravelly.
It's just apple.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. No sugar added apple juice. That's what this is.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah.
You just get the apple flavor.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's gonna rock your teeth.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense that you found this at an Asian market. because they don't like overly sweet things.
Like a light.
I don't either, so this, to some extent, does appeal to me. Like, we get really extreme with our sugar stuff here.
Yeah, I hate it. It's like one extreme sugar compared to another extreme sugar, and then you have to go to like the complete opposite side, and then you're like, oh. And then all you're used to is the extreme sugar, and then it's just bad.
So I'll finish that in a minute. I'll finish that in a minute. There's a lot of apple.
Yeah, there's a lot of apple.
There's a lot of apple. I want to get to this.
Oh, this half will be smaller, Kara. We could have our own half. I'll eat it later.
5 minutes later. Dude, some apples take forever. They are a meal unto themselves.
And we're eating like a bunch of them after we
This one? This is not the biggest apple I've seen.
No. Have you been to Costco?
They get big.
It's like the lower half of my, like, from my eyes down. That's how big those apples get.
Have I told you the story of me giving my third grade teacher an apple?
I don't think so. But now I'm very
So we went to Food for Less, and when I was in third grade, I saw this really big apple, and I'm like, oh, this will be great for my teacher. Because, you know, the trope of, like, bringing your
teacher
an apple.
Yeah.
So I bring her this apple, and she's like, oh, thank you. And for some reason, in my head, I thought she was gonna, like, eat it that day. And when she hadn't eaten it by the end of the day, I'm like, oh, you didn't eat your apple. She's like, I'm gonna take it home to my family. And I'm like, I'll just take it back. So, this apple that I got expressly for my teacher, show my affection. When she had not eaten it, I'm like, all right, this wasn't worth it. I'll take it back, I guess.
Why are you like this?
I don't know. I haven't gotten better, I guess. It's just been a steady decline downhill. It made sense at the time. This is a pear. We're doing pears now.
Sorry, it's gonna take me a minute. Oh my god. You're amazing. You're 300% an animal. It's so ugly on the other side, and I don't want it to touch the breadboard.
Just put it over there.
So ugly.
Okay. Oh. Whoa. So we did a pear comparison like a couple months back before we started filming fruit stuff. And all of them, they were all different and had their own flavors, but they were all very mellow and soft. Except for that, what was that Asian one? Was it just called an Asian pear?
Yeah, it's just called an Asian pear.
It's gotta have an actual name. But that one was a little more
it's just
crisp.
Asian pear.
Asian pear?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell because it comes in the cute little diapers.
Yeah. But this one has a really strong flavor to it.
Yeah, this one's great.
This has got some impact.
Why didn't I buy more of these?
This is... Wow.
Well, now we have a favorite pear.
I suppose. How would you describe this flavor? It's strong.
It's like a mildly sweet pear. It's real juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Just crispy. I mean, like crispy.
With the flavor, though.
Just mild pear. But I feel like the reason why we could taste more is because it's juicier than most pears.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
So like all the juices are like, here's my flavor.
So it's
flavor.
Yeah, you're getting it because it's so juicy.
Yeah. Because it's harder to like. It's not harder. It's
You're right.
just,
That makes sense.
It's just more irritating to describe something where it's less juicy when most of the flavor is in the juice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one's juicy and crispy and delicious.
This is the Yali Pear.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to remember what store I bought that from. I went to like 5 stores. That was great.
Yeah, that's super good. Now I am full of apple and pear.
Me too. We will continue to eat.
It was worth it. Yeah, it's just a few apples and a pear.
It's a meal.
You can watch us eat for the outro. Everyone's favorite mukbang, mukbang.